Hi, Nolan. I just wanted to say that it was nice to meet you today and that I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thanks, Olivia. I'm looking forward to it too. This is my first time participating in an HOA. I've never done anything quite like it before, so I'm not 100% sure what the officers do. I'm sorry if I make any mistakes while I learn the ropes. I appreciate your patience.
Honestly, it's mostly just a title. The management team doesn't do much since it's a condo community. A lot of traditional HOAs have to organize events and monitor the community. There are playgrounds and parks and all kinds of things to keep up. It can be pretty difficult. But condos are way easier, trust me.
I'm still a little worried since I don't have any experience. There are going to be a lot of things that I don't know about, so it would really help me out if you could tell me a little bit more about it.
I understand how you feel. I've been on a condo association board before, so I have a decent bit of experience with it. If anything comes up, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You've had to serve one before? That sounds difficult. It must have been a lot of hard work.
Maybe I just have some bad luck. I always seem to get picked. I've gotten used to it, though, so it really doesn't bother me. I don't mind being a member of the board, though. It's nice to help my neighbors out. Anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your help.
By the way, I met your wife while I was taking out the trash this morning. She seems really nice. She was really friendly and had such a kind smile.
That's right. I was alone when I came by to introduce myself earlier. Was this the first time you met my wife? I suppose it was. She's so much more outgoing than I am. She's friendly. She always gets along with everyone.
She seems like a wonderful person. It's nice to have someone like that around. She really brightens up the place with her personality.
That she does. She's great at making a place homey and inviting. She's such a strong woman. To be honest, she's a lot stronger than I am.
I think it's nice when one of you is the outgoing type and one is more calm and quiet like you are. It makes for a really balanced and healthy relationship.
That's probably true.
My husband is also a little more reserved. I bet you and your wife match the same way my husband and I do.
Now that you mention your husband, I don't think that I've had the chance to meet him yet.
Oh, yeah. He's on an assignment for work that keeps him away most of the time. He's always traveling. It's pretty rare that he's here for more than like a few days.
Oh, of course, I see.
That's why I usually am the one handling the condo board. It gets a little old juggling all the extra work, but it is what it is. I'm a little jealous of your wife. I wish my husband would handle it for me.
It must be pretty hard to take care of everything by yourself.
It really can be, but it is what it is, right? Next time we have a meeting, my husband should be there. I'll make sure to introduce him to you. I think you two would get along really well.
Thanks. I'll look forward to meeting him. You should get to know my wife. I think you two would get along as well.
I look forward to getting to know her better. You're heading home now, right? Is the condo board meeting over?
Yeah, it's done. We finished up a few minutes ago.
Great. How was it?
I was pretty nervous, but I think it went well enough.
What did you guys do? Did you make any decisions during the meeting? Anything interesting?
Mostly people introduced themselves, they explained a little bit about what the board does, and then we decided who would be responsible for what. You know Olivia next door? Her last name is Hayes. I've got the same basic job as her.
Oh, yes, I've met her. I bumped into her when I was throwing out the trash one time. How do you feel? Do you think you can handle the responsibility of being on the board?
I think so.
Well, that's great then.
Olivia was telling me that she was on the board at the last place she lived in as well. She told me about some of her past experiences and what it's like being on a board. I think it's going to be really helpful, so I'm glad I talked to her about it. We connected on Messenger as well, and she sent me a few notes to help me out.
That's lucky. I'm glad you have someone to help you out while you learn. It'll be a lot easier for you that way. It's kind of a shame, though. We moved to a condo because it seemed like it was going to be easier to keep it up and we wouldn't have to deal with a lot of the home ownership stuff. I guess condos come with their own problems, though. I never realized one of us would have to go to meetings or serve on the HOA.
It sounds like board members get replaced every 2 years, so at least it isn't forever.
People are chosen at random, right? It's only our first year living in the building and our family got picked. We don't have any luck at all.
Yeah, but it could be worse. Olivia said that serving on a community board or a regular HOA for one of those big subdivisions is way worse. They have to plan all kinds of activities and festivals for residents, along with all the other normal stuff you would expect. Since the condo building doesn't really have anything like that going on, it's still way easier when you think about it.
That makes sense. I know you, Nolan. You can do anything. You've got this. Just give it your best shot and it'll be fine. You'll do great.
I'll give it my best. Thanks for always having my back, Lainey. I'm lucky to have you. I know that I've kind of been lost lately. I just can't seem to find my courage anymore. I know that you've been worried about me.
I have been a little worried, it's true. But I think once you've gotten busy and in the swing of things, you'll be back to your old self in no time.
I'm sorry to put so much on you. I never meant to.
I know how hard things have been for you. It's been hard for me too.
I know.
It's only been half a year since it happened. It's not surprising you've been depressed the whole time. I've been sad too. Who could blame us? We've been through one of the worst things anyone can go through. But we can't change the past. We have to move forward.
I know, logically, I understand that. I just can't convince my heart. But you're right, we do have to move forward. And I'm glad we moved here. I think it was the right decision for us.
Me too. I think that changing your surroundings can help change how you feel.
Me too, I haven't completely gotten back to normal, of course. But since we've moved, I feel like things have gotten a little bit better. I feel like I can finally see the light again.
I think you definitely look better. You started eating again. I can see you turning a corner. I think you're doing much better than you were even a month or two ago. I don't think you had the will to do anything before, but you seem like you've started smiling again now and then. I see pieces of the old you sometimes.
You're right. And I'm sorry for causing you so much trouble.
Don't be. It's okay. You're a good man. You're a kind man and you have a soft heart. I'm not surprised with how much you've been hurting.
I have so much respect for you. Even though you've been going through one of the most awful things a human can endure, you've carried me the whole time. You've picked me up when I couldn't pick myself up. I collapsed and you've been so strong. You've been so warm and kept the house clean and bright. You've done everything to keep me going.
You're flattering me today. It won't get you anything. You know that, right? What's up?
Nothing's up. It's the truth. That's all. Olivia was complimenting you earlier, too. She was telling me about how friendly and lovely you were and how you must keep our home happy. When she was talking about you, it got me thinking.
What about?
I was just thinking about how much you've done for me. You kept a smile on your face through such a hard time, and I realized you must have been doing it for me. You've been putting on a brave face and a smile because I couldn't. You've kept me from sinking any deeper into darkness. I don't know how it never occurred to me before now, but it's so obvious. You've been doing it all for me. I suddenly felt so grateful.
It's not like I've ever really sat down and thought about it or planned it out like that. It's just who I am. I've always been that way. But thank you. It makes me really happy to hear you say that. Seems like I should be thankful for Olivia too.
I feel like I can get back on my feet because of you. You're still stuck with boring old me, but thanks for putting up with me.
Of course. Thanks for putting up with me.
Why don't I make dinner tonight? I'll make that baked ziti thing you like so much. We've got plenty of cheese and pasta. I should be able to have it ready for you before you know it.
Yay! I'm excited. Hurry home already. And thank you. Good afternoon, Nolan. Is now a good time? Do you have a moment?
Hey, Olivia. I have some time. Yeah, what can I do for you? Is it something for the board?
Not today. There's something else I wanted to talk to you about. This might come across as a little rude to be so abrupt, but what on earth are you guys doing over there?
I'm sorry, what? I don't understand.
In your home! What is going on over there? I can hear a child crying all day long, almost every single day. What are you doing? The crying is so loud that I can't even hear myself think. I'm going to lose my mind.
A child?
Yes! That is to say, you do have a child, don't you? Every single day I hear them crying and crying. It hurts my heart just to hear it. It's so pitiful. I've tried my best to ignore it or let it go, but I just can't stand it any longer. I'm ready to call child services. This isn't okay. I don't know what's happening, but no child should be left to cry like that.
If you're talking about protective services, they've already come to talk with me once.
Oh, really? I'm glad they've been by to talk to you. I don't know exactly what is going on over there, and I know it is my business. I'm trying to be polite here. I really am. But I've never heard a child crying this much or this loudly in my life. Whatever you're doing to that poor child must be abuse. It's a crime. I can't just sit back and not do anything. It wouldn't be right.
Oh, wait, just a moment, please. I don't know how to tell you this, so I'll just say it. There's no child living there. Our son passed away 6 months ago.
What? You mean they died?
Yes, in an accident. I explained that to child services when they came by. They've already left. I don't know what you're hearing, but it isn't a child crying. It can't be. It's just not possible.
I don't care what you say. I know what I heard. Every day I can hear a child crying, and it's coming from your condo. We share a wall. It has to be coming from your condo because it's just on the other side of the wall.
Could you be hearing the TV, maybe?
I don't think so. The only sound is the crying, just lots and lots of crying. I don't know any channel that just plays crying sounds round the clock.
But there aren't any children living in our condo. I'm sorry, but I honestly have no idea what you could be hearing.
Is no one at home normally? In the mid-morning or early afternoon?
No, my wife is usually there. She should be there most of the time. She isn't working right now. She's a housewife.
Your wife hasn't said anything about hearing a child cry?
She hasn't mentioned it at all.
I really hate to ask you this, Nolan. I don't mean to be rude or to overstep my bounds, but do you think your wife might be having anyone over secretly without telling you about it?
What do you mean secretly?
I'm not trying to start anything or cause any problems telling you this. It's just that I have a friend that recently got divorced. While my friend was out, her husband was secretly bringing a woman over to their home. That sort of thing does happen sometimes.
That is awful. But my wife would never do something like that. Oh, please stop. I don't want to talk about this any further.
I see. I'm sorry. Please excuse me. I wasn't trying to be rude. But have you noticed anything about your wife that maybe has you a little worried? Has anything changed lately?
Have I noticed anything different? I guess it seems like she's been going out a little bit more lately.
I'm just saying you might want to check up on your home and see what's going on when you aren't around. I assure you, I really am hearing someone crying and it's coming from your place. It's the truth.
I'll look into it. Now I want to know what's going on. I'd like to find out for myself. But I don't know how I would find out if something's happening when I'm not there.
They have all kinds of devices you can get. I've seen cameras that are made for people to check on their pets. There's so many different cameras on the market nowadays. Most of them you can watch from your phone. You can buy them pretty easily online. Why not give something like that a try?
That's a good point. Thanks for the idea.
If you're going to do it, please do it sooner rather than later. I feel so sorry for whoever it is that's crying like that. I'm worried about them.
Can you tell me anything about the cries? Do they sound like a baby or a young child?
Maybe. I think it was a young child's voice. Not a baby, but a very young child. Please find out what's going on and help them quickly.
Hey, Lainey, I wanted to let you know that I'm getting off early today. I'll be coming home soon.
Really? Already? That's very early. It's only just afternoon now.
The busy season wrapped up a few days ago, so there isn't much to do around here today. I was thinking I might as well go ahead and come home.
If that's the case, can you run an errand for me?
What sort of errand?
I was hoping you could pick up a birthday present for your father for me.
A birthday present? We never send him anything for his birthday. At his age, he doesn't really want anything. We usually just take him out to dinner.
Sometimes we do. This time, I'd like you to pick it out. Grab one on your way home. You got off work early anyway, you have the time. Maybe you could hang out for a bit and spend some time out before you come home. It would be good for you to spend a little time walking around and getting some air. That's better than plopping in front of the TV for the rest of the afternoon.
Nah, all I really want to do is just come home and relax for a bit. I could use the break. I'm almost home anyway.
Just go get the present, will you? It would really help me out if you did. It'll save me the trip later, and you know what he likes better than I do anyway. You've offered to run errands for me before. It's nice for you to handle stuff like that sometimes.
Why do you want me to go shopping so badly? Are you trying to buy yourself some time?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
You sound like you don't want me to come home right now. I just wonder why that could be. It's because you have a man in the house, isn't it?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Is he married? The man you're hiding from me? He brought his kid with him, didn't he?
What on earth are you talking about?
I got a complaint from our neighbors about hearing a child crying in our condo. They even called children's services. We don't have any children living with us, so what could possibly be going on?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, really? You know, I can't believe you. You're so impatient. Look at you hurry. It looks like he's in a big hurry to get dressed too. It's rude to just leave your clothes lying around someone else's home. Doesn't he know that?
Wait, where are you right now?
I'm outside.
Why are you acting like you can see everything that's going on?
Because I can. I can see you and exactly what you're doing right now.
How?
I put up a camera. I caught you cheating in our home. I caught you red-handed.
Are you lying right now? Spying isn't a good hobby to take up, Nolan. That's creepy.
I think you're the one with the bad hobby, creeping around with some man behind my back. I cannot believe you would even bring a kid into this house. I heard from Olivia, but I could hardly believe it. The kid is crying the whole time, isn't he? How can you just listen to the poor thing crying and still carry on? How can you do what you have done? You are disgusting.
It's not a big deal. So what if he brought the boy with him? He's fine.
Who is he? Who is that man? I want to know his name. I'm gonna make him pay for this.
You need to calm down. Don't get so angry.
First, tell me who he is. Then I'll calm down. I want to know everything about him. Who he is, how did you meet him?
He's an old friend of mine. We went to high school together. We saw each other at our class reunion, and one thing led to another. We started talking, and things between us were going really well. We kind of fell into it.
Are you talking about your reunion last year?
Yes.
So you've been cheating on me for the last year? Even before our son died? I can't believe it.
I'm so sorry.
When our son died in that accident, you were out that day, weren't you? Oh, don't tell me you were with him when it happened.
Forgive me.
What kind of a woman are you? You've been making a fool out of me all this time? I thought you were trying to be happy for me. I thought you were trying to take care of me and help me through my depression. But that wasn't it at all, was it? You weren't acting happy. You were really happy. Didn't you even care that our son died? Didn't it even bother you at all?
Of course it did. I loved him. He was my son too. He's irreplaceable. Nothing can make that pain go away. When he died, I was in agony. I wanted to die too.
I thought you might have started the affair to deal with the pain, but that wasn't it at all. If you were really so upset, you wouldn't be meeting up with him anymore, would you? Wouldn't it be too much to bear? A mother should feel some sort of responsibility, shouldn't she? Or am I wrong? If you'd been around more, maybe this wouldn't have happened. If you had been with him, maybe our son wouldn't have even been in that accident. He might be alive right now if it weren't for you running around.
I don't know. Maybe. No one could ever know if things could have been different.
Even when you have that man over, you pretend that you can't hear his child crying? If you can listen to a child crying and not even care, I bet you can lose a child and not even care. What kind of a human can do something so cruel? All you care about is yourself and what you want. Am I right?
No, not at all.
What else am I supposed to believe? I should tell you, I'm not at work today. That was a lie. The truth is, I'm at your parents' house right now.
My parents' house? Why would you be there?
I wanted to show your mom and dad the camera footage. I wanted them to know the truth and to see it with their own eyes. I needed them to believe me and understand. We're all coming back to our house now. You should wait there with your boyfriend. We won't be long.
Tell me you're lying. You can't do that. You wouldn't dare. This has nothing to do with my parents. Don't involve them, please.
Your dad is coming. He said so himself. He wants to speak with you. We all do.
What? With me? Wait, please don't. I don't want him to see me like this. The front door won't open. We can't leave. What's going on? What did you do?
I asked Olivia to do me a favor and put a door stopper on the outside of the door. That way, you two can't run off before we get there.
You actually asked our neighbor to help trap me? What were you thinking?
I did, and I really owe Olivia one for this. If she hadn't come to me, I wouldn't have any idea what is going on. She's the one that helped me find out you're unfaithful. I can't thank her enough for what she's done for me.
Oh my God, how can you do this to me?
I want a divorce. I am done with you. I have plenty of evidence of what you've done. I'm not giving you our home or a cent of alimony. I want you gone. Should I call your boyfriend's wife too? I think that she would be very interested to hear what I have to say. I'm thinking about what's best for that poor kid. She needs to know what's been happening to her son too. She needs to be able to keep him away from that monster of a father.
No, don't do that. I'll do anything you want. Just stop, please. Forgive me, please.
There is no way. I could never forgive you. Children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' foolish mistakes. This ends now. And this is for our poor son in heaven too. He deserved more than this from you. When Lainey's parents and I arrived at the house, she and her lover were already down on their knees begging for forgiveness. They were asking for a chance to redeem themselves. They said they'd do anything we asked. They begged us to take it easy on them. But I was beyond my limit. I had no sympathy left for either of them, and I called his wife and told her to come quickly. It turns out that she didn't live far. While we waited on her to arrive, we had plenty of questions for my wife and her lover. It turns out that they'd been putting his poor kid in the closet while they had their fun. That was the crying that Olivia was hearing. The poor kid was scared and left in a closet to cry alone. When I heard the truth, I could hardly believe it. I don't see how anyone could do that to a child and call themselves a human. How could this be the same person I had spent my life with? I was so furious I could hardly see. When his wife arrived, she came straight into the living room. She walked up to her husband without speaking, reared back, and kicked him between the legs as hard as she could. He howled and fell to the floor in agony. I couldn't feel sorry for him, and I can't say I didn't want to do the same thing when I saw him too. maybe he'll think twice about the pain he felt in that moment before he ever cheats on a woman again. From what I understand, they were divorced soon after. Of course, the wife received full custody of their child. Lainey and I also got a divorce. She didn't contest it, and the papers were signed quickly. I'm just glad to be done. She and that horrible man tried living together after the divorce, but they broke up pretty quickly. It wasn't exactly the best grounds for starting a new relationship. When I heard that they had split up, I couldn't help but wonder if one of them had already been caught cheating on the other. It wouldn't be surprising if they had. But now I don't think that's what actually happened. I've heard that something strange happened in the house that they were living in, not long after they had moved in. There weren't any children living in there, but they kept hearing a child's voice. There were whispers and cries, and it always sounded like a young boy. They were hearing the sounds of a child's voice all the time, day or night. They could never find the source of the voice, but it haunted them. It started a lot of fights between them, and the fights got worse and worse. Who knows what they were really hearing? Maybe the shock of the divorce and the money he was paying out in alimony and child support had messed with him a bit. Maybe they were being haunted by guilt. Who could say for sure? I don't know the truth myself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button for more great content.